Well, welcome back to Cougar Chronicle. We're so glad you're here with us. We have a really special lineup this segment.
Like we talked about in the intro, we've got a great selection of guests, some great information.
Yes.
It has been interesting because a lot of our conversations over the last couple of months have been a little heavier.
They have been. And they should be, important things, right?
But they're forward-facing, they're transparent, and that's the biggest piece there, is just trying to lay the things out. Early on, and I think the show's evolved pretty well in the time we've done, a little over about a year now. I think it's gone that quickly. But what happens is these are the opportunities for us to give, people can hear from those folks directly involved.
That's right.
Especially with our current guests.
That's right.
So we've
Been
got
lifting that curtain.
And just so you know, also I'd like to. We got Patrick McGowan, Jamie MacKenna, who are our school board. A couple of our school board reps. Patrick is one of our reps representing Warner, and Jamie represents New London. Also, you are the first school board members.
Yes, it's so true. It really is. That's very special.
Hopefully we can get we'll timestamp when that's been announced, and we'll make the announcement next week at our.
We'll make sure we get the rest of them on soon.
Now, before we begin, Patrick, I said I hadn't met him in person, but I have seen you so many times via Zoom, because I come into the school board meetings, I see you all the time, but you had no clue. You're like, oh, that's right, that little screen.
It's a great opportunity to have
it is
people
great.
to be able to call in from their pajamas.
How did you tell him?
I will neither confirm nor deny any information that's been provided.
Well, welcome.
So, but
thank you.
The reason, and we're so excited to have you here. One of the things that we've talked about is in off camera as well as on a little bit is facilities planning.
Yes.
We've had Brett Parade come in. We had talk about the LaValle Brensinger project that we had going on that's produced the giant report with the plan to try to look and see, make some recommendations to bring to the school board for a possible bond issue.
That's right.
As people may or may not know, the last bond payment is coming off on the 26-27 school budget.
That's
I think
right.
at some point, for some reason, I had it in my head that it was this year. But in actuality, we got the numbers from Larry Buff, our BA, that will be coming off next year. And so we've got great budget news that we can talk about later, but that's not really the reason for the visit.
Right.
So because of the way that bond or that project has set up and the importance of this bond, the board felt it was very important to we have a number of budget board committees. So to take one of those committees, our facilities committee, and basically call it's not the fanciest of names, but it's the facilities B committee.
Well, that's big.
And so,
yeah.
Which B for big, or bond, depending on how you look at that. But the big piece is so it's the board's committee.
Right.
Our role is not to run those committees. We're the legwork folks. So I just kind of want to turn it over. If you give you a second, talk about what the Facilities B Committee is, the purpose, and kind of what you hope to accomplish through those meetings.
Yeah.
You want to start?
I'll start, and you pick everything else up.
Here we go.
So the B Committee is comprised of community members. So we're bringing a member from each community onto the board committee. And we're going through the LaValle Brensinger report for the facility needs, critical needs, future investments, and we're doing it school by school, month by month, so that we can present to the board our findings at the end of that. Do you want to talk about the specifics that we're?
Sure. No, and we've also had the opportunity to do tours beforehand so that committee members are seeing things firsthand, and then we're talking about those details. It's also they're open to the public. We've had one meeting so far and a pretty good attendance, I should say. But we're trying to also be structured in a way because it's, how many pages is this report?
So the report from LaValle Brensinger is over 700 pages.
Yeah.
And can we back up on that a bit for those of us who aren't familiar with the report? Why was it generated, and what can we expect if we read it?
So
to fall asleep.
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's true.
It's a guaranteed put you to sleep.
The board realized with Brett and with Brett coming in as facilities director a few years ago that we had some critical needs.
Right.
We also had some desired in future investments for our school buildings, and LaValle Brensinger came in and did a detailed report and itemized critical needs, roofs, some HVAC systems that are at the end of their useful life. We have some systems in the schools that were sourcing parts on eBay because they don't manufacture them
Wow.
anymore. So
Tells you something.
out of that 700 pages, there's a laundry list of critical needs, things that if they break or they do break, we can't hold school. It's not a safe environment. We're out of code compliance.
Gotcha.
So one of the first things that this committee did was we sat down and we had a conversation, the full committee, what's a critical need to you?
Right.
And we established some bullet points that we can then bring forward when we go to each school and look at these different things.
That was really important to us that, the architects had their perspective of what it was, but we really wanted that to come from the community. The definition of critical need was pretty similar, and we've got a lot of expertise, both in building and facilities management on the committee, so that's been really a plus as well.
The members of the committee are amazing, and they come from all walks of life in our communities and different experiences, so hugely beneficial. And the 4 goals and objectives that we keep going back to with the committee is to identify critical needs, identify future investments that may not be classified as a critical need, but can better education, can better safety, things like those. Provide the board cost savings. So if we're updating all the lights to LED, what's the cost savings? If we're updating antiquated oil boilers to propane, what's the savings on heat? So we can provide those numbers. And then the 4th objective, which we haven't gotten to yet, and that'll be later in these meetings, is identify any potential savings with school consolidation or closures. And that's the kind of the hot topic, but we're looking at it through a very focused lens on the budget and savings. The committee will not be recommending to the board the closure of buildings or schools.
School or, right.
And that's really the big thing. Just to touch on that is they'll provide the data.
Right.
And then obviously Jamie and Patrick can help facilitate some of those conversations. But the board as a whole is the one that has to make some of those discussions and decisions. And also when you look at our articles of agreement and our charters, the community has a say in some of those pieces as well. So it's not the committee. The worst thing that could happen is the committee says, we want to close New London, or we want to consolidate whatever, because it takes out the bigger voice. And I think that's the big piece is the board trusts the work that the administration had done with LaValle, but also wanted to make sure that there was a voice and a buy-in and really an understanding from the community of that whole thing. And it really has been a great...
Really a great undertaking, because as I'm listening to you, there's a lot of confidence we can have in this. It's coming from the report, it's coming from the input of the expertise of the folks on your committee, but also from the community. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
And we do, as Patrick said, we're meeting monthly. We're meeting in a different school every month. November, we met down at the high school.
Okay.
The meetings are held the first Wednesday of every month, except for March. It's the 3rd Wednesday because of town meetings.
Sure.
The list is on the website. If you show up at 5:30, the members of the public get a tour of the building.
That's wonderful.
We get to see. We just had, how many people did we have? 30 people on the roof of the high school.
Wow.
Looking at the issues with the current roof. So it really gives the opportunity for the community to come out and look at where their tax dollars are needed or going. But also we have a public comment section so that we can hear from the members as well.
I think one thing that was really impactful to me, though, through the process is kind of slowing down and taking a look at each school. I mean, you look at that big report and it's overwhelming. You can start to discredit, you can start to say, this can't be right. But when you get into the details in a more digestible way, when you're on that roof, when you see kind of the water stains in the building, you start to piece it together and you're like, well, this could be costly, but it is a critical need, particularly for our students, for our community.
The safety of our students, right? That's the critical need that everyone's concerned
And those
about.
tours make things tangible. I think that I didn't get a chance to attend the tour, but I remember one of the group members talking about, so when we're talking about this, you're talking about the bubble I was standing on the roof.
Right.
So
and
that's a
you can
very
see it.
visceral experience.
Right.
And you look at the picture and you can kind of see a bubble, but it doesn't do it justice until you're out there and literally, you're going, okay, I wouldn't stand on it when I did the tour.
Right. So you wouldn't want
I
it.
don't
I'm
trust
scared.
it. Luckily, they were half my size. But again, that's the piece that you can put your hands on.
Well, this is like how we teach, hands-on learning, right? Make real-life connections, and that's what you're doing with this, right? It sounds like it.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
great getting the
wonderful.
community's buy-in and input on it as well. It's to fix these critical needs is not going to be inexpensive.
Right.
And we need the community to see that.
Critical needs, though, what's been helpful, I think, is, yeah, it's expensive, but I think we all come together pretty quickly and say, yeah, if this was to fail, we couldn't hold school. This is a critical need.
Yeah.
I think what we haven't really sunk our teeth into yet are the kind of long-term investments. Those are the things that are in the reports, maybe some building expansion,
Right.
fixing the high school locker rooms, that are kind of maybe the harder conversations to have, you know, because...
And we're going to have that conversation in December. So tune in.
And the thing of it is I get to, I'll throw my 2 cents in because I'm not wired not to. Sometimes I have the right to remain silent, but sometimes I don't have the ability. But when we look at some of these things, there's a rumble that happens within that group, and I mean,
Wow.
but not aggressive. I mean, everybody's there for the same reason, for the
good
best
of our
interest of the
students,
school.
yep.
And some of these great conversations where people push against each other, and it's through that conflict that you really are finding a great path. I mean, there have been phenomenal conversations from folks.
It's wonderful.
We've
Yeah.
had great feedback, and the members are fantastic.
And I love that we're representing all areas of the district. We have the south, we have the north, right? And then everyone comes together. Now, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to come back, and the two of you, because, you know, of course, we have a minute and a half left.
Yes.
But this is critical information.
Yes, yes.
Because we're asking for a big commitment from our taxpayers and our residents, and this transparency is so appreciated.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, if any members of the community that wish to attend or provide feedback, reach out to their individual school board members, and that filters down to us.
Can we Zoom into your meetings too?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm there.
Well, and I was the Zoom master. Michael Bissett was out of town, so I had to do it. And we got it working.
We got it working.
Yeah. Attaboy. I'm proud of you.
I just tell people, just be patient. There was a typo or whatever on the schedule. We found the right one.
Yeah,
We got
good.
it out to people.
Good.
But again, these are all forward, front-facing opportunities for the
Good.
people to interact. And the beauty of that is, again, you get to watch the conversations that happen, and then it really is kind of more of an interactive, I think, public comment period at the end, because it's not a
awesome.
regular board meeting, so there allows a little more flexibility.
Yes.
Okay, so we have literally 30 seconds
All
left.
right.
A final message from each of you. What would you like for our residents to know?
Give us your input. I mean, that's what we're trying to do
Simple
here.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
And you
perfect.
can do that. Reach out to your school board member, attend one of the meetings, attend a school board meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks-
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
having us.
Oh my gosh,
appreciate
and
it.
you'll come back next year. I'd like to have them back.
We will work on. I will work on trying to get them back in the spring after the
Okay.
the meeting.
Yes,
to provide an
exactly.
update.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely. Once the board has a direction, obviously that group they'll have to come back and we'll have more information.
Sounds
But
good.
we'll. I'll try to see if I can come up with some enticements to get them back.
Sounds good. Patrick, Jamie, thank you both so much.
Well, thank you,
We
guys.
appreciate
Thank
it
you so
greatly.
much.
Well, another segment coming up that you had a chance to speak with someone very special.
I am very excited. I get to have conversation with Stephanie Lorendo, who's
Oh,
one of
she's
our school nurses.
wonderful. Yes.
Phenomenal human being. Very excited for that conversation with her to highlight that, and we'll just keep things rolling like always.
Do you know, after you did that segment, you turned to me and said, go put on your hand sanitizer. We're talking about germs. It's
Yes.
December.
It is called, if you cover, you clean. You know, the 9-year-old in our house, we're trying to keep everybody healthy.
She can help me out.
There we go.
Anyway, we'll be back right here on
The Cougar Chronicle.